welcome to Archimedes Coach. In this section, we're going to discuss about the glycogen storage disease. And the glycogen storage disease is basically associated with the different types of enzymes. They are gets defect in their pathway of the carbohydrate metabolism and the glycogen synthesis metabolism. Now we're going to see what is glycogen. Is it? Glycogen is basically they are the storage form of glucose. When in our body in the well-fed condition, the glucose is higher in amount. These glucose are going to be stored by the body in the two parts, basically in the liver or muscles. And this stored form of glucose is called as basically glycogen. So there is some disorders are associated with this glycogen storage. There is some defective enzymes which leads to some special type of specific contents will be formed. So we are going to see what are the main types of glycogen storage diseases here. Basically there are two types we can see here. The one is associated with liver glycogen storage disease, GSD is glycogen storage disease, and the muscle glycogen storage disease. Either the glycogen is going to be stored in our muscles or either in the liver. So in the liver glycogen storage disease, what is the main features we can see here and what is the main causes of it? When the patient suffer from the hypoglycemia, means low level of glucose in the blood, and the liver is gets enlarged. The liver is going to be enlarged, and due to the enlargement of the liver in the right side of the stomach, it will in the right side of our abdominal cavity, it will leads to the protuberance of our body or the protuberance of our abdominal cavity, and we can see there is no any exercise intolerance check. These are the three main causes of the liver. Next, we're going to move to the muscles glycogen storage disease. What is happening to these patients? What are the main causes? The patient is having normoglycemia. It means the normal level of the glucose in the blood, and the exercise intolerance. These patients are the intolerance for the exercise. Now, before we are going to discuss everything about the glycogen storage disorders, we take a simple example as all the diseases in a table view, and after that we are going to see in a very about detailed manner of each and every disease. Before we are going to see, we can see here all the types of GSD glycogen storage diseases types, their overviews. There are basically 7 types. There are types of GSD, the name of the disease, and what is the enzyme is going to be deficient here. This is the very important diseases associated with the glycogen storage disease. The first type of glycogen storage, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, sixth, and seventh. These are the 7 different types of the glycogen storage disease basically. And the first name is von Gierke disease. Von Gierke disease is basically due to the enzyme. Which enzyme is deficient in these patients? Glucose 6-phosphatase is the enzyme which is deficient in the von Gierke disease. Next one is Pompe's disease. They are basically happens in the muscles, and there is a absence of acid maltase or either alpha glucosidase. These are the enzymes which is deficient. Same as in the glycogen storage type third, they are called as Courage disease, in which they are the liver, and there is an enzyme is debranching enzyme. Next one is Anderson's disease. Anderson's disease is type 4 of the glycogen storage. There is an absence of enzyme, branching enzyme. Next, McArdle's disease, type 5 glycogen storage disease, in which the muscles phosphorylase enzyme is absent. Next one is Hirsch disease, that is type 6 glycogen storage disease, in which hepatic phosphorylase enzyme is deficient. Same type 7, that is Torres disease. And what is the enzyme is deficient? That is muscles or erythrocyte phosphofructokinase first. These are the enzymes deficient in the different types of the glycogen storage disease and the different names of this. So one by one you can also see in this table there is a how the liver, what are the different types of diseases, what are the different types of disease associated with the liver glycogen storage disease or the disorders. They are associated with liver. It happens in the liver, and some of the diseases which are associated with the muscles, because these glycogen are going to stored in the either liver or either muscles. So these diseases are either associated with the liver or either muscles. So we can see in the liver or in the muscles, what are the diseases which are associated with the liver first. In the liver, the type 1, type 3, type 4, and type 6. Out of 7, type 1, 3, 4, and 6, these are the diseases which is associated with the liver. And the type 2, type 5, and type 7, these are associated with the muscles. Suppose that we are going to see towards the muscles what is happen, what are the diseases associated with the glycogen storage disorders in the muscles. There is a first one, Pompe's disease. What does it mean, Pompe's disease? There is a P, we can see a trick here, PMT. PMT is basically, P stands for Pompe's disease. And what is the enzyme which is deficient in the Pompe's disease? These are the, there is the enzyme deficient is the acid maltase or either alpha glucosidase deficiency. These are the enzyme which is deficient in these patients. When the any patient suffer from the type 2 glycogen disorder, type 2 glycogen disorders, in which what is happening, their disease name is the Pompe's disease and the enzyme deficient is the acid maltase or either they are called as the alpha glucosidase. This table is very important. So in next disease we can say McArdle's disease. McArdle's disease, in which what happened, there is a deficient of enzyme muscle phosphorylase deficiency, and this is the most common disease of the glycogen storage disease in the muscles. So now you can tell me which is the most common disease in the muscles of the glycogen storage disease. That is the McArdle's disease. And which enzyme is deficient in this? In there is a muscle phosphorylase enzyme is deficient. Now you can say type 7, that is called as Tourette disease. Tourette disease, in which what is the deficient here? That is a deficiency of phosphofructokinase deficiency is occur in the type 7 muscle phosphorylase disease. So these are the different types of the muscles. Inside the muscles, glycogen storage disorders which happen. These are the three conditions. The second, 5 and 7. There is a second, 5 and 7. These are the three numbers which is associated with the muscle glycogen storage disorders. Now we can see here what is the number? That is the 1, 3, 4, 6. This is the number. It means the type 1, type 3, type 4 and type 6. These are associated with the liver. Inside the liver there is some enzymes are going to deficient and that leads to the glycogen storage disorders will be happening. The first we can see type 1. Type 1 is the Owen-Zirkett disease. What happened in the Owen-Zirkett disease? There is a deficiency of glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme. There is a deficiency of what? Glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme. When the glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme is deficient, if the patient is suffer from Owen-Zirkett disease, there is a type 1 glycogen storage disorder. Next we can say there is a type 3 glycogen storage disorder. This is also happen in the liver, that is Cody's disease. There is a enzyme deficient is branching enzyme. What is it? We discuss later. After the we are going to discuss one by one these diseases. Now we are taking in a tabular form. Now next one we can see the type 4, that one is called as Anderson's disease. Anderson's disease, there is also absence of one enzyme that is called as debranching enzyme. So now you tell me the debranching enzyme is deficient in which of the following? In either liver or muscles? In the liver. What is the name of the disease? That is the Anderson's disease. And there is a clinical findings of the Anderson's disease. Anderson's disease clinical findings. What is the findings appear in the patient body? The patient suffer from the cirrhosis. The liver is gets cirrhosized, or either we can say the liver is going to shrink in the size of that liver, and the liver is not going to hepatomegaly. Hepatomegaly means enlargement of the liver. But in the Anderson disease, there is a, or we can say like Anderson glycogen storage disorder, there is a liver is going to be shrinking. It means they are decreasing in their mass, and that it is the bad prognosis of this disease. Now we can see there is a next one, that is the Hirsch disease. That is the type 6 of the glycogen storage disorder. There is a deficiency of liver phosphorylase enzyme. So these are the different types of the disease of glycogen storage in our body. And now you know the glycogen is what is it and how the glycogen is going to be stored in our body, and we discuss everything in the glycogen metabolism later on, or in the carbohydrate metabolism. So for now you can see this about this the glycogen storage, how it happen in the liver, how it happen in the muscles, what are the names of the glycogen storage disorders in the muscles and in the liver, you now know. Now we are going to see about the first liver first, type 1. Type 1 is in the liver, and you know the name of it, that is Owen-Zirkett disease. What is happen in this? There is a deficiency of glycogen 6-phosphatase enzyme. And what happen if the enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme is gets deficient? It means this enzyme is going to for the conversion. We can see here this enzyme is responsible for the conversion of glucose 6-phosphate into glucose. This enzyme, which enzyme? Glucose 6-phosphatase. This enzyme G6 is glucose 6-phosphatase. G6P, glucose 6-phosphate, it gets converted into glucose in the presence of glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme. and here is this enzyme is absent, and that's why the absence of this enzyme, the glucose 6-phosphate amount will be increasing, and the glucose 6-phosphate amount will be increasing. It leads to the glucose amount should be decreasing. So in the body of that patient, in the on-Zirke patient, and there is a hypoglycemic condition is developed. And now you know, in the liver we can say like this, these terms are very specific here. This all of the liver glycogen storage disorders is having hypoglycemia and hepatomegaly. All the muscles glycogen storage disorders is having normoglycemia with exercise intolerance. These are the common words. This is happening in the muscles or either in the liver glycogen storage disorder. So it is simple. Now you tell me, what happened in the on-Zirke disease? There is hypoglycemia, yes, hypoglycemia is occur here. There is hepatomegaly, yes, there is hepatomegaly is occurs. There is exercise intolerance, no, it is no exercise intolerance. So on-Zirke disease, there is a deficiency of glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme. So what is going on here? The increasing in the amount of glucose 6-phosphatase due to the enzyme is deficient. So you can see there is a glucose 6-phosphate amount will be increased, and increase in glycogen in the organs, and which is the part of organ they are located, where it's happened in the liver. So in the liver this glycogen will be increasing in amount. Because of the glycogen 6-phosphatase enzyme is not working here. What is the clinical features of this disease, on-Zirke disease? What happened to the patient if the patient is suffer from the glycogen storage disorder, that is on-Zirke type 1? It's happened present at the 3 to 4 month of ages. If the patient is at the age of 3 to 4 month, it's happened mainly in the childs, and we can see there is a doll like faces. The baby child is looking like a doll. They are the round faces, and there is a thin extremities. The extremities of the child is going to be very, very thin. And now you can see there is a massive hepatomegaly. Already told you, in the liver disease there is a hypoglycemia and the hepatomegaly. The enlargement of the liver is common, and the exercise intolerance is not happening here. There is a no splenomegaly. There is a nothing is going to be happened with a spleen, and adrenomegaly is yes. In the on-Zirke disease, the kidney will be gets enlarged in the size, but a spleen is not happening to anything with the spleen. And the milky white plasma, the plasma of that baby is going to be milky white. Why? Because in the plasma or in the blood there is a triglycerides amount will be increased. Triglycerides amount will be increased. Why? What is happening to these patients? Then clinical features you know now. There is a 3 to 4 months of a doll faces, the massive hepatomegaly, no splenomegaly, renomegaly, and the milky white plasma is appeared. What is the biochemical hallmarkers, or what is the biochemical markers of this disease which showing that the patient suffer from the on-Zirke disease? What is it? So we can see the first here, hypoglycemic condition. I already told you the hypoglycemia is showing that the patient suffer from the liver glycogen storage disease, and the type 1 is liver glycogen storage disease, that is on-Zirke disease. And here we can see that is hypoglycemia. Next, lactic acidosis. Next, hyperlipidemia. Next, ketosis. Next, hyperuricemia. So these are the 5 main characteristic features of the on-Zirke disease type 1 patient. If the patient is suffer from the type 1 or type 1 glycogen storage disorder or the on-Zirke disorder, so these features we can see in this biological marker of that patient: hypoglycemia, hyperlipidemia, ketosis, hyperuricemia. Why it's happening? We are going to see it in the down. We describe each and every point why it's happening in this patient. First, you know why the hypoglycemia condition is seen, because there is a glucose 6-phosphate is not going to convert into glucose due to the absence of glucose 6-phosphatase enzyme. Next, where the patient suffer from the lactic acidosis, because the glucose 6-phosphate is converting into pyruvate, and after that there is anaerobic glycolysis is happening, because this pathway is not going to further moving due to the oxygen, or they are not going to convert into glucose. So this pathway will be going for the lactate. So there is a lactic acid, lactate is going to accumulate, and they are producing acid, because the lactate is basically more amount accumulated, more amount of lactate is going to accumulate in our body, and it leads to the production of acid. It is acting as acid. Why the hyperuricemia? There is inside the blood the higher amount of the urea we can see because the glucose 6-phosphate amount will be increased, and they enters into HMP pathway or the pentose phosphate pathway, or there is increase in the pentose. Pentoses structures will be enters into the purine metabolism, and they are going to degraded inside the purine metabolism, and the production of what is the final product of the purine degradation or the purine metabolism is increase in the uric acid. So that's why the patient suffer from the hyperuricemia. We till now discussed already three: hypoglycemia, hyperuricemia, and the lactic acidosis. Now next one, that is ketosis. Why the patient is having body ketosis in the on-circuit disease type 1 glycogen storage? There is an increase in gluconeogenesis. Basically, the synthesis of glucose from the non-carbohydrate sources, that is gluconeogenesis. And there is a, what is the non-carbohydrate source? Maybe oxaloacetate. This oxaloacetate is going to depleted here, and depleted means they are going to deficient. It means there is a beta oxidation cycle of fatty acids will be run, and this beta oxidation is leads to production of acetyl CoA. And after that, this acetyl CoA is not going to convert into TCA because there is a enzyme deficient, and leads to the ketone body increases in the body, and this ketone body produces ketosis. Simple. When the ketone body is increases in our body, these ketone bodies are acidic in nature. That's why they are going to produce acid, and that's why they are called as ketosis. So there is a ketone body synthesis will be happen in the body because beta oxidation cycle is not beta oxidation cycle will be running more fastly or the running very fast. So their ketosis. Next, hyperlipidemia. Why the patient is having hyper amount of the lipids? We can say hyperlipidemia, glucose 6-phosphate again converted into pyruvate. The pyruvate is going to increase in the higher in amount. It leads to the increase in acetyl CoA is higher in amount. This acetyl CoA will be leads to more run fatty acid synthesis will be increased, and the glycerol is also combined with it. When the fatty acids is combined with glycerol, these terms are called as triacylglycerol. The TAG is basically combination of fatty acid and glycerol, and this TAG is called as lipids. So there is a hyper amount of lipid will be synthesized when the patient suffer from the type 1 disease. So now you tell me, all these points are proved. What is the biochemical marker of the on-circuit disease? Yeah, all the point will be proved. We can see hypoglycemia, we see why it happened. Now lactic acidosis, hyperlipidemia, ketosis, and hyperuricemia. These all points are proved here. So these are the main biochemical markers inside of the patients of the on-circuit disease. Now we are going to see type 1b. This is also another type of the on-circuit disease, but in the glycogen storage disorders. But what happened in this patient? There is a glycogen 6-phosphate transporters in the liver endoplasmic reticulum, basically in the liver cells, endoplasmic reticulum. Inside the endoplasmic reticulum, there is a transporters for the glucose 6-phosphate. Glucose 6-phosphate transporters are not working here. So there is enzymes for these transporters are not working, and this is similar to the on-circuit disease. Here is two characteristic features in the type 1b on-circuit disease, that is neutropenia. The neutrophils number will be going to decreases, and the recurrent bacterial infection. The patient suffer from the recurrent bacterial infection, or again and again bacterial infection. They suffer from the again and again bacterial infection. So these patients are suffer from the type 2 glycogen storage disorders. Now you know what are the main diseases associated with the type 1. Now we are moving towards the type 3. Now you know we are now discussing only liver glycogen storage disorders, and you know from the initial the 1, 3, 4, 6, these all are the type 1, type 3, type 4, type 6. These all are the liver glycogen storage disorders. It means there is a 2, 5 and 7. These are the muscle glycogen storage disorder. So now third, this is also liver storage disorders, liver glycogen storage disorders, that is Codis disease. You know it. There are also another name of it, Forbes disease. There is another name of the Codis disease is also called as limit dextrinosis or limit dextrinosis. These are also called as type 3 glycogen storage disorders. What happened in this patient? There is a debranching enzymes are going to be defect. What is debranching enzyme? Is basically 1,4,1,4 glucan-transferase is the debranching enzyme. Another one is the 1,6-glucosidase. These are the two enzymes. These are the debranching enzymes which is participating in the on-circuit disease, and they are gets defected in the patient. This patient is having abnormal synthesis of glycogen. There is a glycogen is going to synthesize abnormally. What are the clinical features of the Codis disease? We can see here hypoglycemia once again because it is the liver glycogen storage disorder. There is a hepatomegaly. Yes, hepatomegaly is present. Splenomegaly is mild cases. It's important. In the own Zirkett disease, there is no splenomegaly. Or splenomegaly present? Yeah, splenomegaly present or not? No. But here splenomegaly is present in the mild cases. No renal megaly. There is a no renal megaly is important here. In previous one, renal megaly, yes. You can see here, there is a renal megaly. You can see here is the renal megaly, yes. But in the third coded disease, there is a no renal megaly. These are the main clinical features. Next we can see the progressive liver cirrhosis. There is a liver cirrhosis is occur in the patient, and it leads to the death of the patient. So in the Cori's disease, the death causes is basically due to the liver cirrhosis. If the patient suffer for a long time for this disease, then it will be progressive into the, or progression leads to the death of the patient. There is an intravenous glucagon is given to the patient if the patient is in the well-fed condition. It means suppose that any patient in the well-fed condition is going to responses for the glucagon. When the glucagon is injected inside the intravenous and there is a no response in the overnight fasting. If the patient is overnight condition, it is not fasting. What is the diagnosis of this patient? The patient is suffer from the Cori's disease. There is a liver enzyme is going to increase in his body. What is the liver enzymes, which is the specific marker? The liver enzymes are the specific marker of the damage of the liver cells or the damage of the liver tissues. They are the basically aminotransferases, or they are called as the AST or ALT, aminotransferases, or the alanine transferases. These are the two enzymes which is elevated in the serum of the patient, and these are the specific markers of the showing the patient suffer from the Cori's disease, type 3 glycogen storage disorders in the liver. Now you know there is a 1, 3, 4, 6. Now we are going to for the 4 glycogen storage disorder. The another name of it, that is Anderson's disease, and another name of the Anderson's disease is amylopectinosis. So these are the names of this disease, that is the Anderson's disease or the amylopectinosis. They are the same name. They are the type 4 glycogen storage disorders in the liver. What is the enzyme which is defective here? That is the branching enzyme. What is the branching enzyme is defective here? And now you can see there is a abnormal glycogen is synthesized. These abnormal glycogen which is formed in this sense, they are the insoluble in water, and they are the amylopectin like substance. These are the amylopectin like substance which is going to be accumulating in the liver. These substances, this abnormal glycogen is going to be stored in our liver in the amylopectin like manner, and these amylopectin like substances is after depositing in the liver, they are due to which enzyme deficiency? That is branching or debranching. Here is the branching enzyme. And what is the name of the disease? That is Anderson's disease or amylopectinosis. It is so simple. Now what are the clinical features of the Anderson's disease? We can see here, that is the hypoglycemia. Yes, it is from initials, already told you. This is the common feature. Hepatomegaly, this is also common feature. Next one is splenomegaly. This is not common feature. This is not happening in the first case, that is Onjirke, but in the third, yes, mild condition is splenomegaly. No renomegaly, but in the first Onjirke there is a yes, renomegaly is yes, but here no renomegaly. Progressive cirrhosis again. This progressive cirrhosis in the Cori's disease, it leads to the death of the patient, but here it leads to hypertension, portal hypertension disease developing. This portal hypertension is going to lead to the death of the patient in the 5 year. Death in 5 years. After the developing this disease, the patient is suffer from the hypertension, portal hypertension disease, and this portal hypertension is leads to the patient is going to be die in the next 5 year of his lifespan because of the liver failure. Because the liver is silently going to not working and the patient is going for the death. So these are the simple conditions. What is the diagnosis of this patient when the patient suffer from the Anderson's disease or the amylopectinosis? We can see the patient diagnosis serum. We can see the liver enzymes. What are the liver enzymes? Once again, the liver marker enzymes are present in the liver. When the liver cells are going to damage, these enzymes will be released from the liver. And what is the enzymes which is released from it? That is the AST, one again AST, aspartate aminotransferases, and the alanine aminotransferases. These are going to be elevated in our serum, and they are going to be important marker for this disease. Next we can see the muscle glycogen storage disorder. Now you know the muscle glycogen storage disorder is type 2. These are basically with two types. We can see here, either the patient suffer from the hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. The patient is having cardiomyopathy disease associated, or either without cardiomyopathy disease. If the patient is suffer from the cardiomyopathy, either cardiomyopathy or either without cardiomyopathy, we can see the Pompe's disease and Donald's disease. There is a type 2 and Donan's disease. These are the two diseases which is associated with the cardiomyopathy. Means they are associated with the heart disease. But there is a McArdle's disease and Torres disease. They are without hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. It means they are not associated with the cardiomyopathy diseases. So now it is the important question here. Is the McArdle's disease associated with cardiomyopathy or not? Yeah, it is yes or no? No, because it is the not participated in any type of hypertrophy of cardiomyopathy disease. And what is the disorders which is associated with hypercardiomyopathy disease? That is the second one, that is Pompe's disease and the Donan's disease. We can see that Donan's disease will be defect in the LAMP2 enzyme. They are defect in LAMP2 enzyme. What is LAMP2? Lysosomal associated membrane protein 2. This is the enzyme which is basically present on lysosome membrane. These enzymes are going to deficient in the which disease? Danon's disease. And this Danon's disease is associated with the muscles lysosomal storage disorder. Sorry, glycogen storage disorder. So this is also a type of glycogen storage disorder. Now we are going to see the Pompe's disease basically. Pompe's disease is a type 2 glycogen storage disorders. In this, it is the muscle glycogen storage disorder. Yes, we know from the initial, the type 2 glycogen storage disorder name is the Pompe's disorder. And this is the lysosomal storage disorder. Yes, it is the lysosomal storage disorder. It means inside the cell, suppose that this is the cell, inside the cell lysosomes are present. Inside the lysosome, lysosomal digestive enzymes are present. They are hydrolytic enzymes. They are going to digest something. So these enzymes are present inside the lysosome. So these are the disease is also associated with the lysosome. These diseases are also associated with the lysosomal disorder. And these are also associated with the muscles glycogen storage disorder. So we can see what is the enzyme is going to deficient here. That is hydrolysis enzyme. And what is the type of hydrolysis enzyme? That is acid maltase. Maltase is an enzyme which is going to hydrolyze something, that is maltose. And we can say acid alpha 1,4 glucosidase. This is also enzyme which is going to deficient in these patients. If the patient suffer from the Pompe's disease, what are the clinical features of the patient? These diseases are early onset condition, and the patient suffer from the hypotonia. The tone of the muscles is going to decreases. Floppy infants, the infants is going to floppy, and the macroglossia, the tongue of the patient is going to very enlarged, and the enlarged tongue is called as the macro means enlarged, glossum is tongue. Cardiomegaly, and on the x-ray we can find the heart shape or the heart size will be increased in the size, so the cardiomegaly can be interpreted here. And next one is failure to thrive, and the cardio failure due to the progression of this Pompe's disease leads to the cardiac failure and the death in the 2 years after the diseases appear in the body. So this is all about the Pompe's disease. The glycogen storage disorder, muscle disease, the patient suffer from these clinical features will be appear. So we have to memorize all the clinical features, and when the disease is very dangerous for us, in what conditions is we have to learn about it by heart. These all the disorders are very important for exam point of view or the many MCQ questions. These are very important, and these diseases are also common in our life. So you have to must to know about it. What are the diagnosis of the Pompe's disease? We can see there is a CK enzymes, that is creatinine kinase will be increases in the amount in the muscle. Serum creatinine kinase, CK is creatinine kinase basically. The creatinine kinase is increases in the somehow in the amount in the muscles, in the muscle serum. And the LDS, lactate dehydrogenase, is also increases in the serum. And the acid phosphatase. So these all the three enzymes we can find in the serum. Their value will be elevated, and when these all three enzymes will be elevated together, it means simple, the patient suffer from the Pompe's disease. What are the enzyme replacement therapy used for the treatment of this patient when the patient suffer from the lysosomal storage disorder or the muscle inside the muscle glycogen storage disorder, that is Pompe's disease? So we are going to give the patient is having either enzyme replacement therapy. What is the enzyme is going to deficient here? This enzyme is providing to that patient, and the patient will be very cure very fast. So these are the enzyme replacement therapy. There, what is the enzyme we are going to give here? Either we give myoenzymes, or either we are going to give, there is a alglucosidase alpha or the recombinant acid alpha glucosidase. These are the three enzymes therapy. They are the all another name of these all same. So these are the enzymes we give in the patient treatment of the Pompe's disease. Diagnosis: CK creatinine kinase level will be increased, lactate dehydrogenase, and the acid phosphatase. These are the increases. Now McArdle's disease, there are the 5 types of glycogen storage disease. The number 5 one, that is the McArdle's disease. We can see what is the enzyme will be going to deficient here. That is the we can see here, that is the muscle glycogen phosphorylase. This disease appears in the muscle, so there is a disappearance of the glycogen phosphorylase enzyme is disappeared here, and they are not going to synthesize it. It leads to the some clinical features will be appear. Now you know, in the normal condition, what is the patient is having appear in the muscles. I already told you the normoglycemia is a normal condition of all the muscles in muscles glycogen storage disorder. Also the exercise intolerance, the patient are exercise intolerance having the patients, and the rhabdomyolysis, the muscles are going to break down, the muscles protein are going to break down here, that is rhabdomyolysis. And the myoglobinuria, in the urine there is a myoglobins are going to, what the muscles are going to proteolyze or the breakdown. After the breakdown of these muscles, protein are coming into the urine, so there is a burgundy colors of the, we can see burgundy colored urine. The patient urine will be burgundy color. And the second wind phenomenon, if the patient is having first time pain is appeared, and after that it's going to be resting condition, and then resume exercises with the more easily. So these are the main characteristic features of the patient of myocardial disease, that is type 4 glycogen storage disorders. And what are the enzyme deficient here, that is glycogen phosphorylase. You have to know by heart what are the enzymes deficient in these diseases, and these are very important for us to know about it. So now you tell me what are the diseases associated with the glycogen storage disorders. Now in next point we can see this most common glycogen storage disorders in the adult is myocardial disease. Already told you, in the muscles glycogen storage disorders, the myocardial glycogen storage disorder will be the most common in the muscles glycogen storage disorder. So in the either in the adult stage or in the adolescent condition. So you have to know by heart it what are the main disorders here. Now next point we can see the Tourette disease, that is type 7. That is also in the muscles. The Tourette disorder or the Tourette disease is also associated with the glycogen storage disorders in the muscles, basically the 2, 5 and 7. These are the associated with the muscles. These are happening in the muscles, and the enzyme deficient to be the phosphofructokinase. This phosphofructokinase basically leads to the hemolysis of the erythrocytes, and the erythrocytes is going to break down. After the breakdown of erythrocytes, what is happening in the patient? There is a hemolysis. Hemolysis means the erythrocytes is going to be lysis, or it means breakdown. Simple. No second wind phenomenon is appeared in the patients, what we discussed previously in the previous disease, and exercise intolerance, yes, and with the normal glycosemia. So these are the different characteristic features of this disease, that is the Tourette disease. And we have to know by heart what are the enzymes deficient here, that is phosphofructokinase, and what is the main clinical findings, that exercise intolerance, no second wind phenomenon or the hemolysis. So next we are going to see the comparison. Already told you there is a 7 types. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. These are the all 7 types of disease. Onjirke, Pompis, Cordis, Anderson, McArdles, Hertz and Tourette. What are the different types of enzyme is going to deficient here? You already know about it. I already told you. So you can see here in what region these cells are going to be appeared in our body. We can see here, these are the important points here. I can tell you, wait a minute, I will tell you. We can see here the glycogen storage disorders with brain involvement. Which one of the following glycogen storage disorders is associated with brain or the brain involvement in the anterior horn cells? Anterior horn cells is basically in our spinal cord or in the brain. We can see there is a type 2. In type 2 name is, we can see here from the above, that is Pompis disease, in which there is a brain involvement is appear. Which glycogen storage is associated with the brain involvement or the anterior horn cells, that is type 2. Next, recently added glycogen storage 2 is having GLUT2. What is the recently added glycogen storage disorder is associated with GLUT2? That is the Fanconi-Bickel syndrome. Fanconi-Bickel syndrome. Next one is type 0 glycogen storage disorders means. What is the type 0 glycogen storage disorder? In which there is a glycogen synthase enzyme is defective. So it's very important. The glycogen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You will know from the 7, from 1st to 7. What is the glycogen 0 disease is it storage disorder? That is the glycogen synthase enzyme is deficient in the glycogen 0 storage disorders. Now glycogen storage type 1 disorders is also called as Onjirke disease. So simple. Now you can see the most common disease here. there is a glycogen storage disorders. We can see most common glycogen storage disorders in the adult and adolescent will be the type 5, already told you, McArdle's, and hyperglycemia with hepatomegaly, that is all the liver glycogen storage disorders. Glycogen storage disorders with the liver cirrhosis, there is a type 3 and type 4 types of glycogen storage disorders is having liver cirrhosis is appeared, which having the renal dysfunction is appeared, that is Onjurke disease is having renal dysfunction, and the liver glycogen storage disorders and with the myopathy, that is type 3 and type 4. These two diseases is having liver glycogen storage myopathy, means cardiomyopathy basically, or the myopathy. So these are the different types of glycogen storage disorders we discuss here, and these all the diseases are very important. So you have to know by heart these all the types of glycogen storage diseases, and these all are important in our biochemistry, and these all diseases are everywhere in all the exam. These diseases are very important, so you have to know by heart. And I'm not going to tell you about the, you can go and learn everything. We discuss everything about the carbohydrate metabolism first, then these diseases are very simple for you to understanding, and what are these enzymes will be deficient in the different diseases we have to learn, because enzymes are coming in enzymology. So for now you have to learn it, and you have to know by it by our heart, because it's very easy and simple. These questions are very simple. So thank you, see you in next video. Bye bye, take care.